Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The scientist, the Nobel laureate, James Watson, co-discoverer of the double-helix shape of DNA, died today at 97. Why do I feature this? Is because I used, people who watch my videos very regularly, I used Mr. James Watson's example many times in my videos when I'm trying to raise awareness about if we say something that they don't like, they destroy us. And the point I was making using Mr. Watson as an example was when you say something and it's controversial and they attack you, do not apologize if you believe in what you said. Do not apologize, because they will destroy you and they will also have your apology. Let them destroy you, but do not issue an apology for what you think is true. So in this case, it's a Romanian expression, ugly, a fost futut și cu banii luați. That means he was and his money was also taken. So what happened with Mr. Watson? I have to add something that I didn't know about the story. I mean, there's many things I don't know, but that would not change the main idea and the main lesson, which is do not apologize if you believe it's true what you said. And he apologized, they destroyed him, but then I found a little detail in a documentary where he said that he didn't change his views at all, which for me changed the whole thing. So he apologized for something he said. I'm going to tell you what he said. Now don't take this as being true or being a lie. He's a scientist and that was his assessment of a situation. But because of political correctness, he was destroyed. They canceled his speeches. They kicked him out of the academia. He was zero, done. He even had to sell his Nobel Prize medal, gold medal, which I don't, is not very important to me, just so you know. Obama has one too. Elie Wiesel has one too. I mean, the other guys have two, Rabin and, no. And the one who just got random from Venezuela, the Nobel Peace Prize, I don't think so. Anyway, it's just a political entity. So what's going on? Let me show you. I will tell you what he said and that he did not apologize, but he is controversial. Associated Press. James Watson, co-discoverer of the double-helix shape of DNA, has died at age 97. Here is the blonde, blue-eyed, it was not blonde, anyway, blue-eyed guy. Here I have James Watson, whose co-discovery of the twisted ladder structure of DNA in 1953 helped light the long fuse on a revolution in medicine, crime-fighting, genealogy, and ethics. He died, he was 97. Why ethics? Because you have to keep your mouth shut. Alright, so what happened? The breakthrough made when the brash Chicago-born Watson was just 24 turned him into a hallway figure in the world of science and for decades. But near the end of his life, he faced condemnation and professional censor for offensive remarks, including saying, this is what these guys say, black people are less intelligent than white people. Now this is their interpretation. See, they needed one paragraph to tell you this guy is bad. Well, maybe he said something that was, I don't know, some people dislike, but he was a scientist. Well, scientists make mistakes, right? Watson shared the 1962 Nobel Prize with Francis Crick and Maurice Wilkins for discovering the boom, boom. Okay, this is what happened. Let me show you. Paparaka, Tsakamaka. Alright, he died in a hospice care after a brief illness. His son said Friday his former research lab confirmed he passed away a day earlier. All right. So let's see what he says. He gained unwelcome attention. They destroyed him. In 2007, when the Sunday Times magazine of London quoted him as saying he was, and I'm quoting, this is what the guy said, inherently gloomy about the prospect of Africa, quote unquote, because, and I'm quoting again, all our social policies are based on the fact that their intelligence is the same as ours, where, he says, all the testing says not really, end quote. All the testing, end quote. He said that while he hopes everyone is equal, and I'm quoting, people who have to deal with black employees find this is not true, end quote. This is what this guy said. Now he's talking about testing. He identified as a Democrat, just so you know, not that it matters. So he said something that was his assessment of life, good or bad. He was destroyed for that. Now, I found a very interesting, someone provided me with that, a friend of mine. I think it was from TikTok, or not TikTok, it was Instagram, I think. And he says, did you realize that when they call you a racist, they never call you a liar? Or something like that. So when they call you names, and they never call you a liar, they call you just so you say something that doesn't look good, or they don't like. They don't try to disprove that, or if they try to disprove that, they just say, don't listen, this is already debunked, you're crazy. No, this is a scientist. Now, they destroyed him after that, for what he said. He apologized, but not for what he says. He said, insensitive, but this is what I found out. Was you wrong? I don't know, talk to him if you can. He apologized, but after an international furor. Who do you think created the international furor? How do you think you find out about that? He apologized, but after he was suspended from his job as chancellor of the prestigious Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory in New York. He retired a week later. He retired a week later. Why do you think he retired? He was made to retire because they knew, and he knew, his life was over. He apologized, and after a week he retired anyway. Do not apologize. He had served in various leadership jobs there for nearly 40 years. His career was killed in a week. In a week. All right, and this is what I didn't know. And he scored some points. In a television documentary that aired in early 2019, Watson was asked if his views had changed. I'm quoting Mr. Watson. No, not at all, he said. In response, the Cold Spring Harbor Lab revoked several honorary titles it had given Watson, saying his statements were reprehensible. Are they true or not? And unsupported by science. There you go. Follow the science. Remember, but if the science gets you to the wrong answer, politically incorrect answer, my fellow Americans, my fellow human beings, I'm not saying this to bash a group. I'm saying that if you say something as great as this guy was, honorary titles, he had a Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel Prize, gold medal. He sold it for $4.5 million, and then that was returned to him. So he was a guy who did not care anymore. He retired in a week after he said what he said. Imagine what could happen to you or to I, little baboons on a branch. It happened to Watson in 2007. 2007. I have to remind you that sorry, slip of the Freudian's tongue. You know what I mean? So I have to remind you that these guys attacked this guy. Why? So people like others do not get the wrong impression. This is a free world. Free speech. Mind you, he's American. He was born in Chicago, Illinois. I didn't know he said in 2019, not at all. I thought that everything remained. He just was destroyed, and he apologized and destroyed. Well, he was destroyed, apologized, and still destroyed. And in the end, he said, no, not at all. I'm not here to discuss the Bell's curve over there with Mr. What the hell? Watson is his name too. Let me see. I think what I'm like a horrible bosses right now, moving my fucking chair. Yeah, I think yeah, Watson, wasn't he? So no, this is Murray and not. I'm sorry, Watson. What? There's another Watson I know. All right, so this is Richard Herrnstein and Charles Murray. His career was also fucked because of this book. Herrnstein had the decency to die early. He died, I think, right after the book was published. And again, I have all kind of things in this because that's how I read books. I read books and I live in, I write on the sides. So when CIA or FBI comes over, he can, you know, see where I underline things and so on. All right. You see that? So, what was that underlined? The limits of churning. In the same situation, really so extreme, to some extent, not yet. For example, national survey still indicates that fewer than 60% in the top quartile of intelligence actually complete a bachelor degree. So, anyway, this is it's statistics here. Read this book. When they buy it, 94 or something? No, 2008. Anyway, right there. And whole Michigan at that time. So here it is. So another one that was destroyed. You can still find Mr. Murray, Charles, not the other Murray, the now that is sold to the slip of the tongue I had earlier. So there you go, my friends. Do not apologize. They will destroy you anyway. So at least if you go down in flames and showing them the finger while you go down. Otherwise, they will use you as, see, he apologized. That means he knew he was wrong. I don't think, because I know his apology. He did not apologize for that. He said, whoa, you took it out of context, and this is what I'm talking about. Now, if let's say I have here two sportsmen, and I say, well, I know you lack this and you are good at this. Should I be fired because I notice what that person lacks? According to my ability. And I say, okay, in order for you to improve that, you need to work on that, you need to work on that, you need to work on that. Without noticing and pointing out our deficiencies, we will never going to be able to alleviate them or turn them into qualities. If you all think that we are fantastic, we will not work on ourselves in getting better. Now, he said what he said. My point was, they destroyed him. He was at the top of the world in a week. But in 2019, he said, no, not at all. That reminds me of, what's his name, the actor from James Bond. The interview that he said about slapping a woman. What's his name, man? Sean Connery. Sean Connery, when she said, do you think that it's good to slap a woman? And Sean Connery, he said, oh, you made an interview, made a claim a while ago. Do you change your opinion? And he said, not at all. Not at all. Hit me, baby doll. See if I care. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Remember, this is not about the Africans or the black people or that. It's about what they do if they don't like what you say. Even if it's a stupid thing, even if it's not true, they can call it a lie, but they destroy you in a week. And he was not a nobody. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.